So a quick video on Netflix, and this is part of my series where I'm doing one video in the S&P 500, one video for every stock in the S&P 500 and quickly analyzing it. So I do have a small position in Netflix and I'm growing it hopefully into a medium or large position if the price doesn't move and the company continues to do better. So what do I like about it? I've looked at Netflix many times and it always seemed too expensive. Over the past 10 years, the average price it's traded at is 88 times trailing earnings. And so the default, the S&P 500, has usually looked more attractive because the trailing 12-month earnings on the S&P 500 has been 15 times on average. But now the S&P 500 is overpriced. Instead of 15 times average earnings, the S&P 500 is currently trading at a PE of 27. And rather than 88 times trailing earnings, Netflix is now trading at 24 times earnings. So Netflix is cheaper than the index, and it's better than most of the companies in the index, in my opinion, and it's trading at a lower multiple than the index. So that's all good. And what else is good about it? So there's a very common thing with streaming services like Apple or Paramount. If there's a show that you really want to watch, you can sign up for the service, binge watch it, and then cancel it after 1 month, right? Because they're not year-long contracts, they're month-to-month. And if you look at the two that have the lowest cancellation rate, number 2 is Amazon. And I have Amazon Prime, but I don't watch many shows on it, but I still don't cancel it because I pay for Prime to get the delivery. And because I get the free delivery on packages that I order, the video service comes with it. So that's why Amazon has the second lowest cancellation rate for video service. Well, who's got the number 1 lowest cancellation rate for service? And that would be Netflix at 3%. So Netflix undercharged for their service for a long time and spent all their money acquiring more and more content to make it more attractive for people to sign up, and didn't do anything about password sharing that they knew about because they wanted as many people on it as possible. And now they flipped the switch and they started cracking down on password sharing. And people thought that might hurt the stock, and the stock tumbled, but actually it's helped numbers. So a lot of the people who were bumped off when Netflix started cracking down on password sharing broke down and started buying their own accounts, their own subscriptions. And even though in the lower tier you used to pay so that you wouldn't have to watch ads, and now the lower tier includes ads, they are still making more money. People haven't canceled overpaying the ads. A lot of them are just willing to pay more to have an experience without the ads. And all that money that they spent on the library, a lot of that is in the past. So they'll keep buying new shows and new movies, but a lot of the money that they spent for huge libraries of things, that's all gone now, and they will get the benefit of that in the future because they own the content. So there is operating leverage there also. It costs less money to service a new customer than it did prior customers because they have the same amount of fixed costs, and each additional new customer is just pure profit, and they keep growing. So that's a couple of things I like about it, and it's a new position for me. It's a small position for me, and I just I'm buying a little a day, and if the price stays where it is or goes lower and the company keeps improving, I will make it a medium or large position. But for now, I'm adding very slowly because I don't want to use leverage, and I have to sell stuff to buy a big position. So anyway, that's my thoughts on that. Leave any questions or comments below, and if you have a suggestion for the next company in the S&P 500 I should do, leave a comment. Have a great day, everyone.